Our third race, we have a field of 6 approaching the top of the stretch. There's Freddie Dream with Tom Mason, Kid B, and Ivan Davies. Legitimate Power, Mike Doyle. Laser Scott with Jody Hennessy. Jim and I Jewel with Gary Vincent. Daly's Alert with Wally Hennessy. Here they come. They're off, and Laser's got the leader 3 wide on the rail. Freddie Dream, and in between them, Kid B. They swing into the turn. They're 3 wide. Freddie Dream now the leader. Laser's got second, now goes for it, takes it again. It is Laser's got by the 8th with Freddie Dream racing as second. Kid B has third on the rail now. Jim and I Jewel is 4th. Daly's Alert and Legitimate Power trails. On to the quarter. Laser Scott leads by a length and a half. Freddie Dream is racing a second, Kid B third. Jim and I Jewel out racing now from a 4th. Daly's Alert and Legitimate Power. They were by the opening quarter, 29 and 4. Laser Scott with Jim and I Jewel arriving up second now. And moving up on the leader as they come by the 3/8 and swing through the stretch, and here they come, racing to the half. Up on the outside strong, coming to the top, it is Jim and I Jewel. Laser Scott is racing as second. Freddie Dream has third. Kid B is 4th. Daly's Alert racing 5th, and Legitimate Power trails the field as they were by the half in 1 minute. Around the turn they go to the 5/8, and Jim and I Jewel is up by 3. Laser Scott is second. Freddie Dream, Kid B, Daly's Alert, Legitimate Power trails. On up the backstretch they go racing to the 3/4. Jim and I Jewel is out now by 5. Laser Scott is second. Kid B drives on to third going on. Kid B is now second. Laser Scott third. Legitimate Power 3 wide racing on 4th. They were by the 3/4, 1:31 and 2. Round the top turn, Jim and I Jewel, but 2.5, and Kid B closing in on the leader. Back 4 lengths to Legitimate Power. Third, they hit the head of the line and they swing for home. It is Jim and I Jewel with Kid B. A strong second, Legitimate Power third. It is going to be Jim and I Jewel. She draws away. Kid B, Legitimate Power. Here they are at the line. Jim and I Jewel, Kid B, Legitimate Power. Daly's Alert gets 4th. And the time for the mile, 2:03 and 1. And parading now, the unofficial winner of our third race, it is number 5, Jim and I Jewel, a brown pacing mare. She is 5 years. She is by Widow's Judd out of Harvey's Jewel. Owned by the Clonmel Stables of St. John, trained by Don Galbraith. Gary Vincent driving. The mare getting her second winning trip this season. That's her fastest tonight in 2:03 and 1. Well, the result of the third is now official. Freddie Dream was 6th. Kid B second. Legitimate Power third. Laser Scott was 5th. Jim and I Jewel, your race winner. Daly's Alert was 4th. They were by the quarter, 29 and 4. The half in a minute flat. 3/4, 1:31 and 2. The time for the mile, 2:03 and 1. And we're all set now. Race for the field of 6 approaching the top of the stretch. There's Melody Down with Steve Mason. Repeat Power, Mike Doyle. Jim and I Jewel with Gary Vincent. Kilkerran Derby with Wally Hennessy. Spin Dandy with Don McDougall, and Glengal Major with Jody Hennessy. Here they come. They're off, and Repeat Power shows on top. In between horses, Melody Down goes for the lead on the inside. They're neck and neck round the turn. Repeat Power, Melody Down, and Jim and I Jewel is driving a third. Kilkerran Derby has 4th. Spin Dandy is 5th, and Glengal Major trailing 6th as they race to the quarter. And it is Repeat Power on top. Only by a length, but he's on the outside and gets to the rail now. Repeat Power, Melody Down, racing second. Jim and I Jewel is third. Kilkerran Derby is 4th. Then Spin Dandy and Glengal Major. And they were by the quarter, 30 2/5 and around the top turn. Repeat Power, a length and a half. Melanie Down is racing second. Gemini Jewel is third. That's Spinning Dandy rushing up strong on the outside, racing on to fourth. Then Glengal Major and Kilkerran Derby as they come to the half of the racing. Three on the fence, three outside and challenging. But up front, Repeat Power holding his lead. Gemini Jewel is at his wheel and racing on second, challenging for the top. Melanie Down racing a third. The half in 102 and 2. Out of the turn they go racing to the 5/8. Repeat Power. Gemini Jewel on the outside second. Melanie Down is third. Spinning Dandy outside fourth. Kilkerran Derby and Glengal Major on to the 3/4. Three of them on the rail and three out and challenging and Repeat Power holding his lead 3 parts of a length. Gemini Jewel driving second. Melanie Down racing third. Spinning Dandy, Kilkerran Derby, Glengal Major. They were by the 3/4, 132 and 4. Around the top turn, Repeat Power. Then Melanie Down, second, looking for room. Gemini Jewel hanging a third. At the head of the lane, it is Repeat Power. Swinging for home, Repeat Power. Gemini Jewel. Melanie Down looks for room, doesn't have it on the outside. Spinning Dandy comes on, but it's going to be Repeat Power. Here they are at the line. Repeat Power. Too tight to call for second. Looks like maybe Spinning Dandy, Gemini Jewel, Melanie Down. The time for the mile, 2:03. And parading now, the unofficial winner of tonight's featured 8th race, number 2, Repeat Power. A 4-year-old brown pacing horse, a son of Power Baron out of Innocent Affair. Owned by Brian Foster and Mike Doyle of St. John. Trained and driven by Mike Doyle. The horse scores his 6th winning trip this season, pacing tonight in 2:03. His last half at 1 minute and 3/5. And the result of the 8th race, now official. Melanie Down was 4th. Repeat Power, your race winner. Gemini Jewel 3rd. Kilkerran Derby was 6th. Spinning Dandy 2nd. Glengal Major 5th. Times a quarter, 30 and 2/5. The half, 102 and 2. 3/4, 132 and 4. And the mile in 2:03. We're all set now for the 8th race. Field of 8 approaching the top of the stretch. We have Tolan Hanover with Doug Beckwith. Hoplin Dawn with John Davidson. Legitimate Power, Mike Doyle. Hummer Common with Bill Nicholson Jr. B-Honk and Wally Hennessy. Laser Scout with Jody Hennessy. Riverview Boy with Wayne Sprague and Tidy Point with Mike Campbell. Here they come. They're off. Tolan Hanover pacing with the lead, and Oblin Dawn going up in between horses. Outside of her, Laser Scott drives on. They're 3 wide round the turn. Tolan Hanover up strong on the outside. Laser Scott rushing on second. They're neck at neck as they go racing by the 8th. Still, it's Tolan Hanover and Laser Scott. Now it's Laser Scott, Tolan Hanover. Oblin Dawn has a 3rd. Then a Tidy Point is 4th. Hummer Common, Riverview Boy, Legitimate Power. B-Honk is the trailer as they go racing on by the quarter. They were by that quarter, 30 seconds flat into the top turn. Laser Scott with Tolan Hanover racing a 2nd. Oblin Dawn his 3rd. Here comes Tidy Point moving from 4th. Hummer Common moves behind him with cover. Then Riverview Boy, Legitimate Power, B-Honk, and through the stretch. They come racing to the half, and Tidy Point goes to the top. Laser Scott is 2nd. Here comes Tolan Hanover out from 3rd. Oblin Dawn his 4th. Hummer Common, Riverview Boy, Legitimate Power, and B-Honk. The half, 1:01. They swing around the turn, go racing to the 5/8, pacing on top. In leading by a length, it is Tidy Point. Up on the outside, Tolan Hanover racing 2nd. Laser Scott on the rail is 3rd. Oblin Dawn outside with cover, she's 4th. Hummer Common swinging out 3 wide, racing 5th. Then it is Riverview Boy, B-Honk, and Legitimate Power as they race on by the 3/4. They were by that marker, 132 and 3 and around the top turn. Tidy Point In between horses, racing second, Total and Hanover. Laser Scott third, Opland Donna wide fourth. They swing for home, Tidy Point. Laser Scott, Total and Hanover. Hummer coming up on the outside. It is going to be Tidy Point and Laser Scott, and here they are and at the line. Tidy Point, Laser Scott, then Hummer coming and Opland Don. And the time for the mile, 2:03 and 3. And parading now, the unofficial winner of the 8th race, number 9, Tidy Point. He's a Bay Pacing colt, 3 years. He's by Set Point out of Tidy Lobel. On before a Good Eye out of Nakawick. He's trained and driven by Mike Campbell. The colt gets his 7th winning trip this season. Pacing tonight, 2:03 and 3. The result of the 8th race, now official total in Hanover was 8th. Oblin Dawn, 4th. Legitimate Power, 6th. Hummer Garman, 3rd. B-Honk was 7th. Laser Scott, 2nd. Patty Prancer scratched. Riverview Boy, 5th. Tidy Point, your race winner. The time's the quarter, 30 seconds. The half, 1:01. A 3/4, 1:32 and 3. And the mile, 2:03 and 3. Daily Double 5 at 9, paid $42.40. Quinola 6 and 9, paid $116.10. Triacta 6, 9, 4, $1,361.40. And we're all set now for tonight's featured ninth with a field of 5. Approaching the top of the stretch, we have Glen Gal Galaxy with John Davidson, Spin Dandy with Wally Hennessy, Repeat Power, Mike Doyle, Ulster Prince with Jody Hennessy, Rosin N with Steve Mason. Here they come. They're off. Glengale Galaxy grabs the lead. Spinning Dandy's racing second. Repeat Power outside, driving out third. Ulster Prince is fourth. Rosin trails fifth as they swing around the turn. Glengale Galaxy the leader by the 8th by 2. Spinning Dandy racing second. Repeat Power caught on the outside, racing out third and going on. Repeat Power is now second. He challenges for the top, but Glengale Galaxy keeps it. Repeat Power parked, hangs second. Spinning Dandy's racing third. Ulster Prince is fourth. Rosin trails the quarter, 30 and 1, and around the top turn they go, and it's Glengale Galaxy, a length and a half. Repeat Power parked to second, driving on. Spinning Dandy is third. Ulster Prince is fourth, and here comes Rosin. They come racing to the half. Glengale Galaxy is the leader. Repeat Power at his wheel, hangs second. Spinning Dandy is third. Rosin is fourth on the outside. Ulster Prince is the trailer as they go racing out by the half. It 1 minute and 3/5. Round the turn they go. Racing now to the 5/8, and Glengale Galaxy holding his lead. Repeat Power's been parked. He still hangs second. Spinning Dandy now gets up on the inside. Repeat Power, Rosin and Ulster Prince as they go to the 3/4. It is Glengale Galaxy a length. Repeat Power, Rosin 3 wide, racing on quickly. Gets to second, going after the leader as they go by the 3/4. They're neck and neck into the top turn. Rosin 3/4, 1:31 and 4. Rosin and Glengale Galaxy racing a second. Spinning Dandy third. They swing for home. It is Rosin and Glengale Galaxy. Spinning Dandy driving third. Ulster Prince, Repeat Power. It is Rosin moving away. Spinning Dandy's coming on. Here they are. Rosin, Spinning Dandy, Glengale Galaxy, Ulster Prince, and Repeat Power. The time for the mile, 2 minutes and 4/5. Pace, a field of 8. They're approaching the top of the stretch. Legitimate Power with Elmore White. Tuxedo's Thorpe with Bill Nicholson Jr. Freddie Dream, John Davidson. Fen Dillon, Don Bickford. Maritime Pipeline with Steve Mahar. Cablevision, Brian Moore. Miss Angie Bobby with Lonnie Stokes, and Valley Road Legacy with Ivan Davies. Here they come. Clear off, and Freddie Dream goes quickly to the top, and Tuxedo's Thorpe is racing a second. Miss Angie Bobby wide, racing on third in between horses. Fen Dillon now third. Miss Angie Bobby is fourth. Legitimate Power his fifth. Cable Vision on the outside. Maritime Pipeline. Valley Road Legacy trails and up the backstretch. Go driving to the quarter. Freddie Dream on top, a length and a half, and Tuxedo's Thorpe is second. Fen Dillon his third. There goes Legitimate Power out from fifth and rushing on as they go racing by the quarter, 30 and 2/5. Out of the top turn, Freddie Dream leads by 2. Tuxedo's Thorpe racing second, Fen Dillon third. Legitimate Power outside the fourth. Miss Angie Bobby, Cable Vision. Then Maritime Pipeline, Valley Road Legacy, and they spring to the stretch. Here they come, they're racing to the half. The leader is Freddie Dream, but 2. Tuxedo's Thorpe is second. Legitimate Power outside, drives on to second now. Tuxedo's Thorpe is racing a third. The half, 102 and 1. Maritime Pipeline outside fourth with cover. Then Dillon's on the rail. Miss Angie Bobby, Valley Road Legacy, Cable Vision trailing as they race on to the 5/8, and they're by it now. Freddie Dream, the leader with Legitimate Power, charging up on the outside, racing on a strong second. Tuxedo's Thorpe is third. Maritime Pipeline a strong fourth with cover. Then Fen Dillon, Valley Road Legacy, Miss Angie Bobby, and Cable Vision. They've by the three-quarters, 133 and 1. Round the top turn, Freddie Dream, but 2. Legitimate Power is second. Tuxedo's Thorpe racing third. Maritime Pipeline racing fourth. Fen Dillon fifth. Now they swing for home. Freddie Dream, the leader with Legitimate Power at Maritime Pipeline. Cable Vision coming off, but it's going to be Freddie Dream, and here they are at the line. Freddie Dream, Legitimate Power. Too tight to call for show between Maritime Pipeline and Miss Angie Bobby. The time for the mile, 2:03 and 4. Parading now the winner of the third race, the Parkway Mercury Sales Pace. It's number 3, Freddie Dream. Chestnut pacing, gelding, he's 5. He's Bewanakee from Better's Delight. All but Darrell Johnson of Rothsay, trained and driven by John Davidson. The horse wins his 4th winning trip this year, this afternoon, 2, 3, and 4. Freddie Dream wins the Parkway Mercury Pace. Result of the third race, the Parkway Mercury Pace. Now official. Legitimate Power second. Tuxedo's Thorpe 7th. Freddie Dream, your race winner. Fen Dillon was 8th. Maritime Pipeline was 4th. Cable Vision 5th. Miss Angie Bobby 3rd. Valley Road Legacy 6th. Race times quarter 30 and 2. Half 102 and 1. Three-quarters 133 and 1. The mile 2, 3, and 4. Quinella 1 and 3 paid 10.40. Triacta 317 paid 295.40. Field of 7, they are approaching the top of the stretch. There's Tuxedo's Thorpe with Bill Nicholson Jr. Snake Charmer, Steve Mahar, Fen Dillon, Don Bickford. Legitimate Power with Mike Doyle. Glengale Canada with John Davidson. Cable Vision with Brian Moore, and Brighton Maid with Tom Mason. Here they come. Clear off, and Fen Dillon grabs the front. Tuxedo's Thorpe racing a second. Glengale Canada drives up a third. Brighton Maid his 4th on the rail. Then it is a Snake Charmer, Legitimate Power, Cable Vision trailing by the 8th, Fen Dillon, the leader, but 2. Tuxedo's Thorpe racing second. Up on the outside, racing on from third goes Glengale Canada. She is now second, lapped on the leader and winging a 4 and takes the lead. Glengale Canada, the leader on the outside as they race on by the opening quarter. 30 and 2/5. Out of the top turn, Glengale Canada, Fen Dillon a second. Tuxedo's Thorpe racing third. On the outside, Legitimate Power driving a 4th. Brighton Maid is a 5th. Cable Vision outside moving with cover. Snake Charmer, the trailer, as they come through the stretch and race on to the half, and Glengale Canada the leader. The Glengale Canada by a length, Fen Dillon and Legitimate Power. Then Cable Vision, Tuxedo's Thorpe, Brighton Maid, and Snake Charmer. They were by the half, 102 and 4. Swinging around the turn, they go driving to the 5/8. The leader is Glen Galcanina. Legitimate Power now lopped on her, challenging a strong second as they go by the 5/8. Then it is a Fen Dillon, Cable Vision, Tuxedo's Thorpe, Snake Charmer, and Brighton Maid as they go to the 3/4. Glen Galcanina holding her lead. Legitimate Power hanging tough a second. They were by the 3/4, 134 and 1. Out of the top turn, Glen Galcanina. Legitimate Power at her wheel, racing second. Fen Dillon is third. Cable Vision fourth. Snake Charmer wide fifth. Then Tuxedo's Thorpe and Brighton Maid, and they swing for home. Glen Galcanina with Legitimate Power driving a second. Cable Vision and Snake Charmer. Glen Galcanina holding Legitimate Power. Coming on, here they are at the line. Canina, Legitimate Power, Cable Vision, and Tuxedo's Thorpe. And the time for the mile, 2:05 and 1. And parading now, the unofficial winner of the second race, it is number 5, Glen Galcanina. A bay pacing mare, 7 years. She is by Newport Robbie out of Trotwood Jill. Owned by Shirley Davidson of St. John, trained by Art Davidson, with John Davidson driving. That's win number 5 this year for Glen Galcanina, pacing tonight in 2:05 and 1. And the result of the second race is now official. Tuxedo's Thorpe was 4th. Snake Charmer 7th. Fen Dillon was 6th. Legitimate Power 2nd. Glen Galcanina, your race winner. Cable Vision was 3rd. R.E.'s Brad was scratched. Foxy Paul was scratched. And Brighton Maid was 5th. The times, the quarter, 30 and 2/5. The half, 102 and 4. 3/4, 134 and 1. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 1. 4-5 Quinella paid 13.40, and the 5-4-6 Triactive paid 158.10. Race 9 starters approaching top of the stretch. Gordy Lehigh, Bill Nicholson, Cherry Twist, Tully Damon, Dart Gorman, Tully Haig, The Last Tycoon, Mark Collett, Sharon Power, Mike Doyle, Sip Along Antelope, Stan Nelson, Don DeLuise with Ivan Davies, Star to Be, Wally Hennessy, Denny's Ned, Gary Vincent, and here they come. There, off and Cherry Twist goes to the top from the outside. The Last Tycoon driving a second. Gordy Lehigh has 3rd in on the rail. Dart Comet is outside racing 4th. Denny's Dad has 5th. Sharon Power out 3 wide. Then it is Sip Along Antelope. They're by the 8th, and it's up the backstretch on to the quarter. Cherry Twist cuts it out. Leads a length and a half. The Last Tycoon 2nd. Gordy Lehigh is 3rd. Dart Comet is 4th on the outside. Denny's Dad racing 5th. Then Sip Along Antelope, Sharon Power. The quarter, 30 and 3. Then it is Don DeLuise and Star to Be trails the field around the top turn. Pacing out on the top, it is Cherry Twist and The Last Tycoon racing 2nd. The inquiry sign is up. They swing off the top turn. Now come on through the stretch, racing for the half. Cherry Twist shows the way. The Last Tycoon is 2nd. Gordy Lehigh makes a move from 3rd. Denny's Nad moves up to 4th on the inside. Dart Comet is 5th on the outside. Then it is Sip Along Antelope, Sharon Power, Don DeLuise, and Star to Be trailing the half in 103. Around the turn, they drive on to the 5/8. The leader is Cherry Twist and Gordy Lehigh. Now it gets to 2nd, The Last Tycoon, racing 3rd. Denny's Ned is 4th. Sip Along Antelope racing 5th. Then Don DeLuise, Star to Be. Then Sharon Power and Dart Gilman on to the 3/4. The 2 leaders neck and neck. Cherry Twist on the inside. Gordy Lehigh on the outside. 3/4, 134 and 4. Round the top turn, Cherry Twist and Gordy Lehigh. The Last Tycoon racing 3rd. Sip Along Antelope coming up on the inside is now 3rd, and they swing for home. It is Cherry Twist. Then Gordy Lehigh, Sip Along Antelope coming up on the inside. Strong on the outside, and wide comes Star to Be. Star to Be pacing to the top, and here they are at the line. It is Star Star to Be, Cherry Twist, Sip Along Antelope, and the time for the mile, 2:08 and 2. And parading now, the unofficial winner of the 10th race, number 8, Star to Be. Bay pacing their 4 years by Bound to Be from Star-Sota on Beloyd McAllister and Lesmont of St. John, trained and driven by Wally Hennessy. The horse gets win number 7 this year, pacing tonight 2:08 and 2. That's a driving triple tonight for Wally Hennessy, winning earlier with Gambling Doug, Falden Lord, completing his triple now with Star to Be. The race out of the 10th race now official. Gordy Lehigh was 5th. Cherry Twist 2nd. Dart Garmin was 9th. The Last Tycoon 7th. Sharon Power 8th. Sip Along Antelope was 3rd. Don DeLuise 6th. Star to Be, your race winner. And Denny's Nad was 4th. The race times, the quarter 30 and 3/5. The half 103. 3/4 134 and 4. Time for the mile 2:08 and 2. Your Quinella 2:08 paid $43.10. Triacta 826 paid $2,859. 25 cents on a $1 ticket. Well, there's a show from Exhibition Park. Do hope that you've enjoyed the action. Good race. And we're all set now for the third, a field at 9, approaching top of the stretch. English Colony with Billy Charlton, Maryland Breeze with Gary Vincent, Golden Fellow Steve Mahar, Cablevision Brian Moore, Nightly Blue Girl with Ron Robertson, Valley Road Legacy and Ivan Davies, Cynthia Jean with Herman Renault, Tuxedos Thorpe with Bill Nicholson Jr., and Legitimate Power with Mike Doyle, and here they come. They're off, and Maryland Breeze quickly grabs the top, and English Colony racing forward on the inside, and up on the outside 3 wide. Tuxedos Thorpe is driving on the 3rd. Golden Fellow has 4th. Cablevision racing 5th. Then it is Legitimate Power as they race on by the 8th pole, and they're neck and neck at now 3 wide, racing for the top. Maryland Breeze, the leader in the outside of her 3 wide, Tuxedos Thorpe. And Tuxedos Thorpe now takes command. Maryland Breeze is 2nd. English Colony racing 3rd. And they were by the quarter 30 and 3. Swinging into the top turn, Tuxedos Thorpe at Maryland Breeze. English Colony, Golden the Fella. Legitimate Powers on the move, racing now from 5th and going on. Behind him with Coverger's Valley Road Legacy. Then it is a Cablevision, Nightly Blue Girl, Cynthia Jean. Through the stretch they come racing to the half and up front, cutting it out. Tuxedos Thorpe leads by 2. Maryland Breeze is racing a 2nd. Legitimate Power drives on to 3rd. English Colony is a 4th. Valley Road Legacy outside racing 5th, the half, and 2 and 4. Then it is Golden Fella, Cablevision, Nightly Blue Girl, Cynthia Jean trailing. Around the turn they race out by the 5/8 now, and Tuxedos Thorpe leads by 2. Maryland Breeze is racing 2nd. Legitimate Power driving hard 3rd. Outside of him, Valley Road Legacy. Then it's English Colony, Golden Fella, Cablevision on the outside. Nightly Blue Girl and Cynthia Jean, and they're 3 wide into the turn. 3/4 134 and 3. 3 wide, neck and neck round the top turn. In between horses, it is Maryland Breeze, now the leader. Tuxedos Thorpe racing 2nd. Legitimate Power wide 3rd. In behind him, looking for room, Valley Road Legacy. Swinging home, Maryland Breeze. Valley Road Legacy has room on the outside. Legitimate Power driving on. 3 of them neck and neck right to the line, and here they are tight at the line. Looks like maybe Valley Road Legacy. The time for the mile, 2:06 and 2. 2, 6, and 9. And the photo for win, number 6, Valley Road Legacy. Bay pacing mare 6 by Bernhard Hanover from Snut Tag. Over Robert Mathieu of Fredericton, trained and driven by Ivan Davies. Also in the photo, number 9, Legitimate Power. Bay Brown pacing horse 5, a Power Baron from It Isn't a Fair. Owned by Brian Foster of St. John, trained and driven by Mike Doyle. And also in the photo number 2, Maryland Breeze, pacing mare 8 by Battleground from Amy Dell. Owned and trained by Ron Wallace of Sussex, Gary Vincent driving, waiting for a photo for win. The result of the third is now official. English Colony was 6th. Maryland Breeze was 3rd. Golden Fellow 5th. Cable Vision 7th. Nightly Blue Girl was 8th. Valley Road Legacy, your race winner. Cynthia Jean was 9th. Tuxedo's Thorpe 4th. Legitimate Power 2nd. Times a quarter 30 and 3/5. The half 102 and 4. 3/4 134 and 3. Time for the mile 2-6 and 2. Your Quinella 6 and 9. Paid $14.40. Triacta 692 returned 264.70. And the Triacta 284 paid $45.80. And we're all set now for the third race, a field of 8. They're approaching the top of the stretch. We have Light Me's Kid with Don Bishop, Gone with the Wind and Mark Collett, Valinda Pinder, Steve Mahar, High Fly, Jody Hennessy, Meadows Shadow, Lonnie Stokes, Legitimate Power, Elmore White, Maryland Breeze with Gary Vincent, One Eye Riley with Doug Beckwith, and here they come. They're off and Gone with the Wind. Has the lead. Valinda Pinder goes forward from the far outside. Maryland Breeze driving on now. Valinda Pinder pacing on top. Maryland Breeze up on the outside gets to a second, and Gone with the Wind his third. High Flies racing a fourth. Meadow Shadow is a fifth. Legitimate Power rushing up on the outside. Then it's Light Me's Kid and One Eye Riley trailing as they go racing to the quarter. Pacing out on top it is Valinda Pinder leading by 2 lengths. Maryland Breeze racing a second. Gone with the Wind is a third. The opening quarter 30 and 3. Then High Fly is fourth. Meadow Shadow racing fifth. Legitimate Power moving sixth. Behind him with cover, One Eye Riley. Light Me's Kid is on the rail, and they swing through the stretch now and come driving on, racing to the half. Up front and in command, it is Valinda Pinder but 2. Maryland Breeze is second. Gone with the Wind his third. Legitimate Power gets to fourth now. High Fly moving fifth. Then it's One Eye Riley, the half in 4 and 2. Then Meadows Shadow, and trailing the field, Light Me's Kid. And they swing around the turn. The inquiry sign goes up. Racing to the 5/8, they're by it now. Valinda Pinder but 2, Maryland Breeze and Legitimate Power. Then Gone with the Wind and High Fly. Meadows Shadow, One Eye Riley, and Light Me's Kid trailing. On to the 3/4, and they're by it now. It is Valinda Pinder, and on the outside, the Legitimate Power challenging a second, and he's going for the lead. They are neck and neck round the top turn. Valinda Pinder on the inside. Legitimate Power strong on the outside. High Fly wide racing third. Maryland Breeze fourth. They swing for home. Legitimate Power. High Fly coming up on the outside, coming to the top. High Fly, Legitimate Power. Here they are at the line. High Fly, Legitimate Power, One Eye Riley, and Meadow Shadow. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 3. And the result of the third race now official. Number 4, High Fly, finished first, placed third. Set back for interference to number 8, One Eye Riley at the half. Light Me's Kid was 8th. Gone with the Wind was 6th. Valinda Pinder 7th. High Fly finished first, was placed third. Meadows Shadow 4th. Legitimate Power finished second, was placed first. Maryland Breeze was 5th. One Eye Riley finished third, was placed second. Race times a quarter 30 and 3/5. The half 102 and 2. 3/4 133 and 4. Time for the mile 2:05 and 3. However, because of the setback, the time has been disallowed. The exactor 6 and 8, $51.90. Triacta 684, paid $586.50. All set for the 8th race, field of 6, approaching the top of the stretch. Gemini Jewel with Tom Mason, Melanie Dow, and Steve Mason. Glenn Calcutta with John Davidson. Glengal Major with Gordy Hennessy, Legitimate Power, Mike Doyle, Lady Tricia with Bill Nicholson Jr. Here they come. They're off, and Gemini Jewel is pacing on top, and Melanie down, takes cover behind her, racing is second. Glengal Major up on the outside, racing on to third. Now Glengal Kidana gets to third. Glengal Major's racing fourth, moves to the rail. Then it is Legitimate Power and Lady Tricia trailing. Up the backstretch, they've raced to the quarter. Gemini Jewel on top of two. Melanie down is second. Glengal Kidana is third. Glengal Major's racing fourth. Legitimate Power's fifth. Lady Tricia is trailing sixth as they go by the opening quarter. 30 4/5 into the top turn. Pacing on top, Gemini Jewel, a length and a half, and Melanie down second. Glengal Kidana's racing third. Here comes Legitimate Power moving up on the outside. Glengal Major's on the rail, and Lady Tricia moving from her trailing position as they come through the stretch. Racing to the half, it is Gemini Jewel, but two. Melanie down is second. Glengal Kidana third. Glengal Major is fourth. Legitimate Power fifth. Lady Tricia trailing the by the half and 2 and 4. Around the turn they go, racing to the 5/8. It is Gemini Jewel, a length and a half. Melanie down is second. Canida has a third. Glengal Major is fourth. Legitimate Power and Lady Tricia on to the 3/4. Gemini Jewel still by a length and a half. Melanie down driving second. Glengal Canida third. Glengal Major racing fourth, 3/4, 1:33. Round the top turn, Gemini Jewel, a length and a quarter now. Melanie down racing a second. Glengal Canada moving up a third. Glengal Major, Legitimate Power, Lady Tricia. Way head for home. It is Gemini Jewel and Melanie down, and Glengal Canada. Gonna be Gemini Jewel, and here they are at the line. Gemini Jewel, Melanie down. Glengal Canada, Glengal Major, Legitimate Power, and Lady Tricia. The time for the mile, 2:03 and 4. Parading now the unofficial footer of the 8th race, number 1, Gemini Jewel. Brown pacing mare, 5 years, by Widow's Judd from Harvey's Jewel. Owned by the Clonmel Stables of St. John, trained by Don Galbraith. Tommy Mason driving. The mare gets her 4th winning trip this season, tonight 2:03 and 4. Now the result of the 8th race, now official. Gemini Jewel, your race winner. Melanie Down was second. Glengal Canada third. Glengal Major 4th. Legitimate Power 5th. Lady Tricia 6th. Times a quarter, 30 and 4/5. The half, 1:02 and 4. 3/4, 1:33. The mile, 2:03 and 4. Exactive, 1 and 2, paid $4.50. Triactive, 1, 2, 3, paid $17.70. Stretch, there's Golden Fella, Gary Vincent. Dunmore, Heather, Steve, Mahar, Legitimate Power, Mike Doyle. Hummer Common, Bill Nicholson, Samuel D. Owen Davies. Tis a Cloud with Phil Sowers. Glengal Canada with John Davidson, and Gideon LaBelle with Bob Stevenson. Here they come. They're off in Hummer Common, winging for the lead. So is Dunmore Heather. She takes it on the inside. Samuel D. up 3 wide and racing on. They're 3 wide, neck and neck round the turn. Dunmore Heather, the leader. Hummer Common in between horses second. Now gets a nose in front. Outside of him, Samuel D's racing now to second, and Dunmore Heather now third. Then Golden Fella has 4th. Gideon LaBelle racing 5th. Then it's Glengal Canada, Legitimate Power. And Tis a Cloud is the trailer as they race on by the quarter, 31 seconds. Swinging into the top turn, Hummer Common a length, and Samuel D now second. Dunmore Heather his third. Golden Fella's 4th. Glengal Canada racing up 5th. Then it's Gideon LaBelle, Legitimate Power moving with cover. Tis a Cloud trails, and through the stretch they come. They are racing to the half. Hummer Common, the leader, Samuel D. and Dunmore Heather. Then Glengal Canada to fourth. Then Golden Fellow Legitimate Power, Gideon LaBelle, and Tis a Cloud. They're 5.5 and 3 and 1 and swinging into the turn. They race now to the 5/8. Hummer Common and Samuel D. Then Glengal Canada racing a third. Then Dunmore Heather, Golden Fellow Legitimate Power, Gideon LaBelle, Tis a Cloud. On to the 3/4 now. Hummer Common but 2.5 and Glengal Canada gets to second. Samuel D. racing third. Dunmore Heather's driving a fourth. Legitimate Power wide fifth. In between horses, Gideon LaBelle and Golden Fellow, Tis a Cloud. 1:35 by the 3/4. Round the top turn, Hummer Common but 2. Glengal Canina. Then Dunmore Heather, Samuel D. Legitimate Power, Gideon LaBelle swinging home. It is Hummer Common and Glengal Canina charging up a second. Dunmore Heather, Legitimate Power on the outside. Now it's Glengal Canina, and here they are at the line. Canina, Hummer Common, Legitimate Power, and Gideon LaBelle. The time for the mile to 6 and 2. And parading now, the winner of the 8th race, number 7, Glengal Canina. Bay pacing mare, 7 years, beneath Port Robbie from Trotwood Jill. Owned by Shirley Davidson of St. John, trained by Art Davidson, with John Davidson driving. That's win number 6 this year for the mare. She wins this afternoon in 2, 6, and 2. Race out of the 8th race, it's now official. Golden Fellow 7th. Dunmore Heather was 5th. Legitimate Power was 3rd. Hummer Common 2nd. Samuel D. was 8th. Tis a Cloud 6th. Glengal Canina, your race winner, and Gideon LaBelle was 4th. The race times, the quarter 31 seconds, the half 103 and 1. 3/4 1:35, the time for the mile to 6 and 2. We're all set now for the 10th race. We have a field of 9. Approaching the top of the stretch, there's AC's Peter with Tom Mason. Columbia Luke and Peter Carton. Denny's Nad with Randy Phillips. Wicked Andy, John Davidson. Sharon Power, Mike Doyle. Cortland Nashua, Rick Armstrong. Gypsy's Lady Rose with Roy Dickinson. Cherry Twist and Doug Falcons, Holly Bat and Herm Renault, and here they come. They're off, and AC's Peter pacing out on top. Columbia Luke, he takes cover behind the leader. Sharon Power working up on the outside. Driving on third. Now Denny's Nad moves up in between horses, racing at third. Holly Bat is 4th. Sharon Power outside is 5th. Wicked Andy has 6th. That is Cortland Nashua, Cherry Twist. Gypsy's Lady Rose trails the field as they race on to the quarter. Up front with the lead, AC's Peter. Columbia Luke is 2nd. Denny's Nad is 3rd. Sharon Power drives a 4th. Holly Bat racing a 5th, and Cortland Nashua. Wicked Andy, then Cherry Twist and Gypsy's Lady Rose. That opening quarter 33. Round the top turn, AC's Peter. Columbia Luke is racing 2nd. Denny's Nad is 3rd. On the outside, Sharon Powers racing 4th. Holly Bat is 5th, and through the stretch they come. They're racing to the half. Up front, it is AC's Peter, Columbia Luke, and Sharon Power 3rd and 3 wide. Holly Bat comes to 3rd, is now 2nd. Holly Bat goes winging for the lead, but AC's Peter holding it. Holly Bat racing a 2nd, the half, and 6 and 2. Into the turn, AC's Peter and Holly Bat. Columbia Luke is a 3rd. Denny's Nad racing 4th. Then moving up on the inside, Wicked Andy, Sharon Power, Cortland Nashua, Cherry Twist and Gypsy's Lady Rose. On to the 3/4. The 2 leaders battling neck and neck. On the inside, AC's Peter. On the outside, Holly Bat. Columbia Luke is racing 3rd. Wicked Andy's gone to a 4th. Denny's Nad is racing a 5th. 1:37 and 4 by the 3/4. Round the top turn, Holly Bat gets a nose in front, and AC's Peter back again. AC's Peter. Holly Bat, Columbia Luke swinging out 3 wide. Wicked Andy's coming up on the inside. They swing for home. AC's Peter, Holly Bat, and Columbia Luke charging up strong on the outside. And here they are at the line. Going to be tight. Neck and neck, AC's Peter, Columbia Luke. Then Holly Bat, Wicked Andy. Time for the mile, 2:09 and 4. 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 2: In the photo for win, first with parade number 2, Columbia Luke. A bay pacing gelding 11 years by Columbia George out of Yankee Pixie. Owned, trained, and driven by Peter DeCarton of St. John. And number 1 AC's Peter. A bay pacing gelding 5 by AC's Dandy from Happy Breeze. Owned and trained by Charlie Ross of St. John with Tom Mason driving. We're waiting for a photo for win. The result of the 10th race, now official. AC's Peter was second. Columbia Luke, your race winner. Denny's Nad was 8th. Wicked Andy 4th. Sharon Power 5th. Cortland Nashua 7th. Gypsy's Lady Rose was 9th. Cherry Twist was 6th, and Holly Bat was 3rd. The race times the quarter 33, half 106 and 2, 3/4 137 and 4, the mile 2 9 and 4. Quinola 1 and 2 paid $14. Field of 8 approaching the top of the stretch. We have Gideon LaBelle with Bob Stevenson, Diamond Digger Jody Hennessy, Matchless Winners Brian Moore, Fen Dillon Don Bickford, Mormac Doris with Wayne Mahar, Legitimate Power Mike Doyle, Dunmore Heather Steve Mahar, Miramichi Darrell Phil Sowers. Here they come. They're off, and Diamond Digger has the lead on the inside. Matchless Winners going for it on the outside. He shows on top. They're neck and neck round the turn. Matchless Winners on the outside. Diamond Digger on the inside. Macmore Dars moves up on the outside. She's racing on third. Up the backstretch, racing now to the quarter. Matchless Winners. Macmore Dars up on the outside. Racing on second at the leader's wheel. Up on the leader now with Diamond Digger racing third on the rail. Gideon LaBelle is a 4th. Then Fen Dillon, Miramichi Darrell, Legitimate Power on the outside. Dunmore Heather trails. Opening quarter 30 and 4/5. Round the top turn, Matchless Winners, Macmore Dars Park challenging second. Diamond Diggers on the rail, racing third. Gideon LaBelle is 4th and through the stretch. Here they come, they're racing to the half. Matchless Winners, Macmore Dars Park hangs tough second. Diamond Digger is 3rd. Gideon LaBelle moving 4th with cover. Then Fen Dillon, Legitimate Power's been parked. Then it is Miramichi Darrell and Dunmore Heather. They were by the half and 2. Round the turn, racing now for the 5/8 Matchless Winners. Macmore Dars on the outside 2nd. Diamond Digger on the rail 3rd. Gideon LaBelle 4th. Fen Dillon 5th. Then Legitimate Power, Miramichi Darrell and Dunmore Heather. On up the backstretch, racing to the 3/4. Macmore Dars gets a nose in front. Then Matchless Winners racing on again 2nd. 3 wide, Legitimate Power drives on to 3rd now. Gideon LaBelle is racing 4th between horses. Diamond Digger is 5th. 135 by the 3/4 around the top turn. Macmore Dars and Matchless Winners. Legitimate Power wide, racing 3rd. Gideon LaBelle is 4th. Diamond Digger looks for room. They swing for home, 3 wide. It is Macmore Dars, Matchless Winners on the outside. Here comes Legitimate Power. Legitimate Power coming to the top, and here they are. Legitimate Power going to be tight for second between Dunmore Heather, Gideon LaBelle, and Macmore Dars. Time for the mile, 2:06 and 4. Parading now the winner of the 8th race, number 6, Legitimate Power. Brown pacing horse, 5 years. He's by Power Baron from Innocent Affair. Owned by Brian Foster of St. John. Trained and driven by Mike Doyle. That's win number 7 this year for Legitimate Power. He wins tonight, 2:06 and 4. Race out of the 8th race now official. Gideon LaBelle 3rd. Diamond Digger was 6th. Matchless Winners 7th. Fen Dillon was 8th. Mormac Dars 4th. Legitimate Power, your race winner. Dunmore Heather was 2nd. And Miramichi Darrell was 5th. Race a field Kaiser. Kiowa Alma Hurst Jody Hennessy. Berners Delight Bob Stevenson. Lady Tricia Bill Nicholson Jr. Old Time Robbie Ross McDonald. Gone with the Wind Mark Collett. Snake Charmer Steve Mahar. Tobic Power Frankie Fagan. Legitimate Power with Ricky Armstrong. And here they come. They're off. Kiowa Almahurst pacing on top, and from the outside, Tobic Power drives to second. Burner's Delight has third. Ajo racing fourth as they swing around the turn, and then Snake Charmer. Up on the outside, racing fifth. Lady Tricia. All the time, Robbie gone with the wind. Legitimate Power. Up the backstretch onto the quarter. Kiowa Almahurst to like for the half. Tobic Power's racing second. Burner's Delight third. Ajo is fourth. Then Snake Charmer. Lady Tricia, Old Timer, Robbie gone with the wind, and Legitimate Power. The quarter 32-1. Swinging into the top turn, Kiowa Almahurst cuts it out. He's in top of two. Tobic Power second. Burner's Delight third. Ajo racing fourth. Snake Charmer is fifth. Old Time Robbie moving sixth. Lady Tricia gone with the wind. Legitimate Power trailing, and they've worked through the stretch and come driving to the half. Facing out front, Kiowa Almahurst. Tobic Power's racing second. Ajo on the outside comes to third, now is going on. Burner's Delight racing fourth, a half and five. Then a Snake Charmer, Old Time Robbie, Lady Tricia gone with the wind, Legitimate Power. Around the turn they race on to the 5/8. It is Kiowa Almahurst up at 2.5. Tobic Power's racing second. Ajo racing on a third. Burner's Delight racing fourth. Old Time Robbie going on to fifth. It is Kiowa Almahurst and Tobic Power second at the leader's wheel. Ajo racing third. Old Time Robbie fourth. 1:36-4 by the 3/4. Round the top turn, Kiowa Almahurst two. Tobic Power second. Ajo racing third. Then Old Time Robbie's fourth. At the head of the lane, they spring for home. Kiowa Almahurst. Tobic Power coming up on the outside. They're neck and neck now, and Tobic Power comes to the top. Tobic Power, Kiowa Almahurst. Here they are at the line. Tobic Power, Kiowa Almahurst, Ajo, and Old Time Robbie. The time for the mile, 2:10. And parading now, the winner of the 9th race, number 8, Tobic Power. Bay pacing horse 4, but Power Baron from Frosty Jean. Owned by Sterling Wiggins of Westfield and Alan Hanson of St. John. Trained by John Davies, Frankie Fagan driving. Win number 6 this year for Tobic Power. Tonight in 2:10. Result of the 9th race now official. Ajo was third. Kiowa Almahurst second. Burner's Delight was 9th. Lady Tricia 6th. Old Time Robbie 4th. Gone with the Wind was 8th. Snake Charmer 5th. Tobic Power, your race winner, and Legitimate Power 7th. Race times quarter 32-1, half 105, 3/4 136, and the mile in 2:10. Race field of 8, top of the stretch. We have Repeat Power with Mike Doyle, Hasty Bick with Ron Robertson, Gone with the Wind and Mark Collett, Look with Winston Campbell, Glengale, Kenina, John Davidson, Burner's Delight, Bob Stevenson, Kiowa Almahurst with Jody Hennessy and Old Time Robbie, Steve Mahar. Here they come. They're off in Burner's Delight, going to the top outside of him, Kiowa Almahurst. Then in on the rail, Repeat Powers racing third. Gone with the Wind goes up to third in between horses. Repeat Powers racing fourth. Kiowa Almahurst bidding four, and he takes the lead. Burner's Delight racing second. Gone with the Wind has third. Repeat Powers racing fourth. Hasty Bick is fifth. Then it is Look, Glengale, Kenina, Old Time Robbie trailing as they go to the quarter, and they're by that marker now with Kiowa Almahurst in command. Quarter 30-4. Kiowa Almahurst leads into the top turn a length of the quarter. Burner's Delight racing second. Gone with the Wind his third. Repeat Powers racing fourth. Then Hasty Bick. Look, they come by. The 3/8 pole now swinging on through the stretch. They come racing to the half. And pacing on top of this Kiowa Almahurst a length and a half. Burner's Delight is second. Gone with the Wind. Here comes Repeat Power moving from fourth. Then Hasty Bick, Glengale, Kenina, Look, and Old Time Robbie, the half 102-2. Swinging into the turn now, they drive on to the 5/8. Kiowa Almahurst but 2. Burner's Delight racing is second. Repeat Power now third. Then Gone with the Wind, Hasty Bick, Old Time Robbie, Glengal, Canina, and Look. They go to the 3/4 and Repeat Power drives on to second now. Kiowa Almahurst holding his lead. Repeat Power at his wheel challenging is second. Burner's Delight is third. 3/4, 1:33 and 1. Around the top turn, they're neck and neck. Kiowa Almahurst on the inside. Repeat Power strong on the outside. Neck and neck, and Burner's Delight is third. They swing for home. Repeat Power the leader. Kiowa Almahurst racing second. Burner's Delight driving third. Old Time Robbie is strong fourth coming on. Here they are at the line. Repeat Power, Old Time Robbie tight. Repeat Power, Old Time Robbie tight for sure between Kiowa Almahurst, Burner's Delight. Time for the mile to 5 and 4. Power and 8, Old Time Robbie. In the photo for win number 1, Repeat Power, Brown Pacing Horse 4, but Power Baron from Innocent Affair. Aubrey Brian Foster of St. John and Mike Doyle of St. John, trained and driven by Mike Doyle. Also in the photo number 8, Old Time Robbie. Bay Gelding 8 by Newport Robbie from Ohio's Bell. Owned by Harry Simmons of Sherwood, Prince Edward Island, trained by Stuart Hanson. Steve Mahar driving. Mile and 2, 5 and 4. We're waiting for a photo for win. And the result of the 9th race now, official. Repeat Power, your race winner. Hasty Bick was 8th. Gone with the Wind 7th. Look was 6th. Glengal Canina 5th. Burner's Delight 3rd. Kiowa Almahurst 4th. Old Time Robbie 2nd. Times 1/4 and 4/5, half 1:02 and 2. 3/4, 1:33 and 1. Time for the mile to 5 and 4. Top of the stretch. Power Mac with Ron Robertson, Glengal Galaxy, John Davidson. Weston Miracle, Frankie Fagan. Tobic Power, Jody Hennessy. Repeat Power, Mike Doyle. Smoke Damage, Ross McDonald. Big D, Steve Mahar. Here they come. Clear off Weston Miracle. First out of there has the lead on the outside. Glengal Galaxy racing forward on the inside, and they're neck and neck. Now Glengal Galaxy takes the lead. Weston Miracle's on the outside. Racing is second. Glengal Galaxy the leader by 2 as they go by the 8th. Then Tobic Powers moved to second. Weston Miracle is third. Big D up on the outside, racing on 4th. Power Mac is 5th. Smoke Damage on the move and going out 3 wide. And Repeat Power trails as they go racing by the quarter, 30 seconds. They're into the top turn. Glengal Galaxy. Tobic Power racing a second. Smoke Damage up challenging third on the outside. Weston Miracle 4th. Big D outside racing a 5th. That is Power Mac and Repeat Power, and through the stretch they come. They're racing to the half. Glengal Galaxy cutting it out. Tobic Power racing a second. Smoke Damage at his wheel racing a third. Weston Miracle locked in 4th. The half 101 and 2. Big D outside is 5th. Power Mac, Repeat Power. They drive on to the 5/8 Glengal Galaxy, a length and a half. Tobic Power racing a second. Weston Miracle gets to third. Smoke Damage is a 4th. Big D going out 3 wide, rushing on from 5th. Power Mac going up on the inside. Repeat Power to the extreme outside. It is Glengal Galaxy, the leader by 2, as they go by the 3/4. By that marker, 1:33 and 4. Round the top turn, Glengal Galaxy. Tobic Power racing second. Big D racing a third. Weston Miracle 4th. Repeat Power, Power Mac, and Smoke Damage. They come swinging for home. It is Glengal Galaxy and Tobic Power is second. Big D charging a third. Weston Miracle coming out on the inside. Here they are at the line. Glengal Galaxy, Big D, then Tobic Power, Weston Miracle, Power Mac, Repeat Power, and Smoke Damage. And the time for the mile, 2:04. Parading now the winner of the 12th race, second leg of the Mistletoe Series, number 2, Glengal Galaxy. Broad pacing horse, he's 4, by Brightest Star from Trotwood Jill. Owned by Shirley Davidson and Gerald Martin of St. John, trained by Art Davidson, with John Davidson driving. Win number 12 this year for Glengal Galaxy this afternoon in 2:04. And the result of the 12th race. Now, official power, Mac was 5th. Glengal Galaxy, your race winner. Weston Miracle, 4th. Tobic Power, 3rd. Repeat Power, 6th. Smoke Damage was 7th. And